What's up, everybody? It's the Spiritual Life Passing Through, Miss Pat, and I'm back at you with another video. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about a message that I received. And it is a message that the Most High gave me because I am getting ready to go back into the world of where I left off at in 2016, actually, or before my mom passed away. I was in that particular world. And the world that I'm about to go and return into is that world, kind of like a grim reaper. Okay, strangely enough, this has been my life. I have been a person that walks people through death. All right, it is not something that I have wanted to do in my lifetime, but it is something that the Most High has put it in my world. It has been in my world since I can remember. My mother always talked about death. Death was a major thing with her. Being prepared for death was a major thing for her, to the point that I felt like I needed to go into it in the area of law so that I could prepare, you know what I'm saying, for whatever. She always wanted to make sure children were okay and everything was set up when she got ready to exit this life. And so I went into the area of law as an alternative to what I originally was coming into law for, and that was for revenge. I wanted to be a homicide detective, which instead still dealt with death, but murder. But when the Most High said, no, I'm not going to put you in that situation where you can have access to that person that you wanted to get revenge on because of my little button, I ended up going into another area of law that was still in the Grim Reaper area, okay? And that is dealing with very wealthy people and their estates after they pass away, all right? And I didn't want to do it anymore when my mom passed away because it's a lot of dealing with people who lose loved ones, and I was not ready for that, immediately after her. So I went into other areas to keep myself busy and keep, things afloat. But this time when the Most High called me back to this area is because he has people that he wants me to touch in that particular area. And not the people that I work with, but the people I come in contact with that I do business that are going to want to do business with me. Okay? So, and I need to help and walk and assist through that process. And he had a message for me beforehand. And I was wondering if it was just me or if it was him. And so one day I was calling myself, saying, Father, I'm just going to study, and wherever I put my hand at, and this nag hopefully, it's got a message for me. And lo and behold, the message was similar to the one that I got spiritually from him, which was, don't get caught up in the access and the grandeur and the glamour of the people who you will be assisting, that I will be sending you to. And I said, huh? I don't get it. I don't get, I'm not going to get caught up with that. He's like, no, I didn't understand. Because in this particular job that I'm going to, yes, I will be dealing with people who have billions, not millions, but the billions. And that's another type of money. Okay, that's a whole nother neighborhood. Now I've dealt with the ones who have millions, and I was like, real snooty, entitled people, typical folks. But billions is a whole nother neighborhood. You understand? So he said, don't get caught up in the access. Don't get caught up in their world of whatever. You know better about what they are in. Okay, so that was the warning that was given to me. So when I was studying, I asked the Father, guide me to what you want me to hear. And lo and behold, y'all, he never fails. When you ask, he does answer, okay? And when you belong to him, you have straight access to him in this type of way. And I wanted to read to you the message he gave me about not getting caught up in a situation, all right? And maybe that might help you all too. All right. And I found this in the NAG, okay? And it says, this is a chapter, and it's called authoritarian, Oh boy, it is called authoritative discourse. Okay? And this is the chapter, The Devil That Lies in Wait for Food. These are the kinds of food which the devil lies in wait for us. First, he plants pain in your heart so that you feel heartache over something trivial in this life. He catches us with his poisons. And after he introduces the desire for an article of clothing so that you will be proud of it, and then the love of money, pride, vanity, envy, rivaling envy, beauty of body, covetousness, the worst of all of these are ignorance and laziness. All such kinds of food the adversary prepares in an attractive way and spreads it out before the body. The adversary wants to make the thought of the soul turn to some kind of food, and thus he hopes to overwhelm her. As with a hook, he draws the soul by force in ignorance and deceives her until she conceives evil and bears the fruit of matter and behaves badly, pursuing many desires and cravings, seduced in ignorance by the pleasure of flesh. Now, that let me know something. That, yeah, Pat, these people have a whole lot, and you are a poor woman, okay? Somebody with billions versus me, I'm a poor woman. Now, when people tell you, oh, we're going to fly you out in a jet, not regular airplane-ism, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get flown out in a jet. That can impress a lot of folks. You understand what I'm saying? But the Most High is telling me, don't let that get to your head. Go into this understanding that that's temptation, and these people are inside the palm of the hand of the evil one, of Sammy, okay? And you are going in as a light. And what does people who are in darkness like to do with light? Go straight to it, just like a moth to a flame. You understand? So in other words, he lets us know in certain situations when he sends us in as his children, especially the ones that have been put in the vineyard to work, that yeah, I'm throwing you out there in the midst of wolves, so you better have your head on straight. And that's what he was basically letting me know before I went into this. But as a lesson for everybody, understand that when you are in this world, all of these things, the cars, the clothes, you understand, the trips, the money, all of those things are all tools of Sammy, okay? Sammy uses those to draw you in, so you will behave badly. So you will walk around like, yes, bitch, I got it together. You understand what I'm saying? You start seeing yourself change, and that's where you have to catch yourself. Because the reality is that you belong to somebody. If I'm talking to you and you listen to this video, 9 chances out of 10, you've been brought into this walk because you're going to end up being just like me, a worker in the vineyard, and you're going to have to understand that there are going to be temptations that are placed in front of you to see how well you have learned. That you understand how much you've learned. All right? Yes, these books tell you a lot of different things, but there's one main lesson or one main thing that's going through all of these books that you can constantly hear in repetition, and that is the Most High's commandments. You keep seeing that same line. And one thing about law is that when we see evidence and we keep seeing the same thing popping up in each instance, this is happening, that's a pattern. And that pattern is usually a message. Okay? And some people can pick it up and some people can't. Some people get caught up in the details. But in this specific situation, if you want the fast track, if you want the cheat sheet are your 10 commandments, babies. Don't covet. Don't tell lies on people. You understand, on your brothers and sisters. Don't run and cause problems, all right? And when you are in these worlds of access, understand who you're standing in front of. Understand whose world this is. This is Sammy's world. And Sammy's world is literally designed, and I'm going to say it in Sammy's way, of fucking you up. Do you understand? That whole entity's thing is to put everything that you could possibly imagine that could literally trip you up in your face. And the only way that you can skip it is to understand your 10 commandments. When our brother was inside of the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, he got tempted by Sammy, did he not? Sammy came to him personally like, what's up, bro? How you doing? I see you down here on earth, huh? Let me tell you something, bro. You know I rule down here. I can give you anything, all of the kingdoms in the world, if you bow down and serve me. And because our brother was so versed and understood the Most High, he knew that that's fleeting. That's not going to stay long. But what the Most High got, his kingdom is eternity, forever. So whatever the hell Sammy's offering literally is garbage, okay? It's freaking garbage, all right? I mean, somebody can offer you a $200 meal tonight, and somebody else say, you know what? I'm going to give you $400 so you can get groceries for the next month. Which one are you going to pick? The $200 bill for the $200 meal for tonight, or the $400 in groceries so you can eat all rest of the whole damn month? Because I'm sorry, if I take this $200 meal tonight, I'm going to be hungry for the rest of the week, right? I got to eat the next day. I got to eat the day after that. But if somebody gives me $400 and I can eat for the next month or two, I think I'll take that. And that's pretty much on the same level of what the devil is offering you in this life. 5 seconds of pleasure versus you having an eternity understanding the Heavenly Father. A big old house right now versus you having part of the kingdom of eternity in all kinds of planets. The hell with Earth. That's basically what Mozart was trying to say. Don't get caught up down here in this BS. Don't get caught up in the things of this world. For one, it's temporary. For two, you look at what you got to give up. You got to give up part of you to have it. So what's the point? You understand? And I'm gonna back this up again. You know, with the next one, so you can understand what I'm saying. So he sent me a message that was real and then bagged it up with scripture, okay, for me while I was studying. And then this is the other side of it that kind of came out. And this part is called "The Soul Finally Eats Food of Life." The soul who has tasted these things comes to realize that the sweet passions are fleeting. She has learned about evil and forsaken these passions and adopted a new lifestyle. And after her experiences, the soul disdains this life. Means hate, if you don't know what disdains means. Because it lasts only for a time. Didn't I just say that? She seeks the kinds of food that will bring her life, and she leaves behind the food of falsehood. She learns about the light, and she goes about and strips off this world. Her true garment clothes her within. Her bridal gown reveals the beauty of mind rather than the pride of flesh. She learns about the depth of her being. She runs into the sheepfold as her shepherd stands at the door. In return for all the shame and scorn she experienced in this world, she receives 10,000 times as much glory, grace, and glory. Now, the reason why I smiled is that it says the shepherd stands by the door, and that's most just Come on in here, girl. You understand what I'm saying? He's standing there waiting for us. And if you think that this is just something out of these books that, you know what I'm saying, that these scriptures that it doesn't pertain to the Bible, for my Bible folks that like get on here screaming and hollering, you shouldn't be teaching and everything because you a woman and you need to back everything up with scripture. That's for you guys, okay? I got a little something for you, okay? Whoever you are, all right? This right here, Sacred Scriptures, Hebrew Bible. You understand what I'm saying? For all y'all funny, strange ass people who get on my nerves. You understand? With you need to back this up with scripture, like you can't learn it on your own and find it on your own. Well, this is found inside of John 10th chapter, 7th verse. All right. It says, Yahshua therefore said to them, Truly, truly, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep, and all that came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door, and by me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out, and shall find pasture. The thief comes not, but he that may steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and may have it abundantly. I am the good shepherd that lays down his life for his sheep. For he is a hireling and not a shepherd who owns the sheep and are not. Beholds the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and flees, and the wolf snatches them and scatters them. He flees because he is a hireling and cares not for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me. Even as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. I lay down my life for my sheep, and other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, and them I also must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and they shall become one flock, one shepherd. Therefore my Father loved me, and because I lay down my life that I may take it again, no one takes it away from me, but I lay down it myself, and I have the power to lay it down, and I have the power to take it again. This commandment received I from my Father. Now, that said a whole lot right there. See, I'm not like T.D. Jakes and them. I'm going to read the whole thing for you, okay? Now, he basically lets you know, I'm the shepherd at the door. My sheep know me. Okay? They know who I is. All right? They know who I am. And when he calls, they come. So if you understand that the devil is going to do what he's going to do, and he's gonna dazzle you. He's gonna tap dance. He's got the clothes. He's got the cars. He's got the women. He's got the everything. But it's fleeting. And once you understand that that world is fleeting, now it's a different lifestyle, and that's what we find ourselves right now in, a different lifestyle. That we have to be amongst all of these things, and it not move us. Okay. That's the reason why I said what I said about where I'm going now. I got to be in a place where I know it's not going to move me. Number one, other people's stuff has never, ever made me feel, ooh, I got to have it. You know what I'm saying? And impress me like that. Because when you pour, just black people in general, most of us can get past other people's stuff because that's somebody else's shit. That's not my shit. I'm not frantic over something that belongs to somebody else. I'm happy for them that it's theirs and they happy, but I'm not sitting back here talking about, girl, oh my God, did you see all of this? And you know, I'm not a person that looks at other people's stuff and gets completely, you know, engulfed in what they've got, somebody else has got. It's beautiful. I'll admit, you know, hey, credit where credit is due. But it's nice to see, and it's a beautiful thing to behold. But am I going to be sitting around feeling a certain type of way afterwards. No, that's not my style. My mother always taught me, and ain't nothing somebody else got that you can't get. Now, when it comes down to billions and stuff like that, hey, if the Most High wants me to have that kind of money, I think He would have put me in that area. If not, I'm not finna sit up here and dream about, or covet over something that belongs to somebody else like that. Because I also know that in this life, you don't know what people have done to get the things that they have. So the more that you have, some of them, with some folks, the more they've done to get things. And I know people who've done some really fucked up things to get where they are. And I have no need to be anything like them. But when it comes down to you walking in this walk and you knowing who you belong to, the devil couldn't really do anything to our brother, because when he showed him all of the worlds and did that tempting thing, when he, 40 days and 40 nights, he did that tempting thing to our brother. And he's like, dude, this is fleeting. This is not going to last long at all. He already knew. It's the same thing that we have to go through too. And understand the reason why Sammy really can't do nothing to you is because if you following them commandments, he can't touch you. That's the secret. That's what all of these books have been trying to tell you. If you follow the law that the Father put in front of you, that He commanded all of us to do, you don't have to worry about being amongst access and getting caught up, because it ain't gonna phase you. You gonna know if this is something. If the Father wants me to have a Tesla and a big ass, 11 room house and things like that, 11 bedroom house. Okay. Do I sit up here and worship everything and the money that I got and feel like a big person and all that? No, honestly, I feel like you got more responsibility to the world when you have that kind of money. I feel like your responsibility is to mankind and making the world for people who don't have as much as you better. I really do believe that. But we have people in this world, amongst our elites, as they want to call themselves, all right? All I call them is victims waiting to happen, because we all know that it's in this walk who have been called and heard the call and have studied enough know that rich folks gonna have a hard time doing anything in the world of the Heavenly Father to come. They're gonna have a hard time dealing with that world. You know that. I know that. You understand what I'm saying? Because they had it in this world. They're gonna have to serve in the next world. You understand what I'm saying? Unfortunately, when it comes down to them, I don't sit back and say, hey, this is great for them, because I know they should have more responsibility in this world. If I was a billionaire, you would see me doing all kinds of things. Why? Because I understand my walk. A lot of people don't understand their walk. They thought they supposed to just help their family and that's it. They supposed to sit back and people be jealous of them. It's some people who live for folks being jealous. You understand what I'm saying? I don't feel the need for that. All I want is for everybody to be able to live and be okay and have. I don't want to see folks sitting out here begging for food and there's a way to be able to give them a situation where they can feed themselves from now on. You understand? That's the kind of person that I'd like to be with money. But when it comes down to this particular world, Sammy has it whereas from the time your ass come here into this world, you are taught not to follow the 10 Commandments. Think about it. You are taught from day one to start looking at what kind of clothes you wear, the toys you got. You understand, coveting after things. What is the first thing they do to our babies? Look at the toys. Don't you want this? Don't you need this? And then all of a sudden, every time you go in the grocery store with your babies, they standing here, Mama, I want this. I need this. I need this. They screaming and hollering, having a fit, making you feel like a heel because you won't give it to them. It all starts with the coveting as children. It's on your commercials. It's everything you watch on TV. You understand? This is like Planet Hell. And you have incarnated on a planet where your objective is to follow the laws of the Most High in a world that does everything but follow them, has everything in literally inside of temptation waiting for you, when you don't even have from your own churches the ability to fight these things off. They don't give you in these books and stuff like that. They're in your churches, they're not giving you any weapons to fight off these types of temptations at all. In fact, they're giving you even more tools to bury yourself in sin if you're paying attention. And your objective incarnating in this world is to literally try to do the commandments in a world geared to everything but the Ten Commandments. And Sammy's standing here to take some of us and raise us up and see how well we serve him. Or do we stop when Mozart calls us and says, let me tell you about where you at. Because this is what our brother has done during this pandemic to many of us. He said, let me have a word with you over here, Shawty. Come here. Yeah, everything that you think you want to hear, you don't want this. And I'm going to show you why. And our eyes have been opened, like literally. I don't know if you've all gotten to the part in the books of remembrance where Mozart started to give people teas and stuff like that, and he gave them something to drink, and all of a sudden their eyes was open and they was able to see the truth of a matter of a situation. Yeah, it's kind of like he did that to us with these books. Now our eyes are open to the world around us, and we're beginning to see our own mistakes. We're beginning to see the mistakes of our parents. We're beginning to see the mistakes that, you know what I'm saying, lots of people around us are doing on a regular basis. And it's like, whoa, you understand? And we need to stop and fix these things immediately, okay? And many of us are. It's not something that's going to happen automatically really, really quick, but over time it will. You understand? But you need to understand that as long as you do them commandments and you're working hard to learn how to do them every day, you're working hard not to start no shit. You working hard not to be in the middle of gossip. You working hard not to look at what somebody else got and be like, man, I wish I had that. No, you don't understand? Or if you can look at something and say, I want that, and work hard to go get it. Not looking over there hating your neighbor because they got it. No, you can work hard and go get it yourself if that's something that you want. And you can talk to the Most High and say, this is something that I'm looking at that I want. And can you help me make a way of being able to get it? That's cool. That's what you call manifesting and talking to the Most High about what you want. And sometimes he says no. You understand that? That's why I got hung up at, is that in the past he said no, but also in the past I didn't know that we was under curses too. The reason why I couldn't have many things, so I get stuck in areas like I couldn't have it back then, and now you trying to give it to me now, and I don't trust all of this. I go back and forth. So that's the reason why I when I got that message this week, I had to bring it to y'all because I know I'm not the only person going through this. I'm not the only person that's being placed in front of things that, temptations and things that could possibly change my personality like that, because I'm around it a lot. You understand? Some of us can be around things and then all of a sudden we become like our environment, okay? I'm going to give myself as an example because I don't know about y'all. But me, when I hung around a lot of gay men, I became very, very, very diva-ish. You understand what I'm saying? And quick with my mouth to retaliate and say certain things. Honey, the dozens. I can make you feel bad, honey. But at the same time, I never really liked talking about people. That was not something that my mother allowed us to do. She used to tell us, you don't talk about people. You don't know what somebody else is going through, so you don't do that. So I never really liked that game. But in joking and laughing and just talking crap with my friends, I was really good at it. But as I started to look back, and when Emoto was starting to open up my mind with these different books, he started to let me see that that's kind of bothering things. That's kind of starting discord if you're paying attention in the wrong type of way. Luckily, I did not like talking about people, so I didn't, exercise that. People would come to me with that stuff, and you would hear the gossip, and they would call me the vault. Because once I would hear something, and I'm not repeating it, I'm not gonna repeat it to other people. That's not my game. I'm not a bone carrier. You understand? I would hear things and keep it to myself. That's why everybody would come and tell me all their secrets, because they know it wasn't gonna go nowhere. All right. But at the end of the day, I started to see how people saying catty things to each other, these are not healthy things. These are not things that are good, that are uplifting. You understand what I'm saying? And I realized I became a huge, very much so like the people that I was around. You understand? Oh, we don't do that, honey. We eat this and this and that. Oh, as soon as you see 2/3 start drinking apple martinis, I'm pouring mine out. You understand? I used to do stuff like that. That's the reason why Sammy is so catty, because I understood that world and I became like it. You understand what I'm saying? And you can become like the world you are part of. If you've never been, you're a suburban kid, you ain't never been around hood people, then all of a sudden you start hanging around hood people, you find yourself being hood. And it's like, that's not how you was raised. And people start looking at you like, where did this come from? It's because you started to soak up your environment. And that's what he says about, once you understand how the devil moves, you become a different person and you start moving in a different type of lifestyle. You start to understand that's not what's up. You start to understand, no. I'm gonna walk differently than everybody else. Oh, you gotta fit in. No, I don't. I gotta just be me. That's all I gotta do. But I don't want this video to be too long at all, but I did want to see, and I got a funny feeling that it's a lot of people in this space that are getting ready to go back into the world of work. You don't want to fall back into those same patterns that you used to have, because there's some people out here, hey, you was the bone carrier at work, you was the gossiper at work, you was this and this and that, and you get back around that environment and you don't know if you can handle it. You can control yourself from going back to old ways. You understand? And it's the same situation as me. But I was told prior, just like I'm telling you prior, don't get yourself caught up in that world no more. If it was you, it ain't you no more. You're in a different lifestyle. And that lifestyle is following them commandments. No false witnesses, no running and telling stuff, no starting, no crap. You understand? No coveting, no hating on your neighbor because they got this or that. You understand? Don't standing around talking about, oh, she thinks she cute, look at her. No, you think she's cute. And you need to tell her, you look nice today. I wish I had that outfit. You understand what I'm saying? Be honest with yourself about certain stuff. Start not having an opinion about it at all. When people bring it to you, don't. You're going to have to start this walk at some point. This is why I was telling y'all that this stuff has to at some point be put to work. You're going to have to break yourself out of old habits. Okay? And even if you are being thrown into those arenas, you don't have to become the person or become a person because you're in that environment so you can fit in with everybody else and not stand out. Sometimes it's better to stand out because you get to see a lot of stuff when you're not in the midst of that mess. You understand? And sometimes you are employed to stand out. The Most High knows his own, and that's why he's trying to get you guys together. You understand? He knows his own. Like he said, when I call, mine know me. I know when the Most High is talking to me and when it's something else. I know when he's dealing with me and when it's something else. You have to find out when he's talking to you and when it's something else. Because usually when he's talking to you, it's something directly straight poignant at the situation. It's gonna sound like something that your mama would say. Now you know you ain't supposed to be doing that shit. I don't even know why you over there. And it's usually him. Or it's like, bruh, why you going to her house? Why you over at her house? Why you on her street? Why you in her bed? You understand what I'm saying? That's your big brothers talking to you saying, stop what you doing. You understand? Don't get caught up in situations. And most of all, understand that when you belong to him, you belong to him and ain't nothing you can do about it. You was brought at a price. Remember that. Okay? And that's for people who are in the vineyard working. You were bought at a price. And he's dealing with us. He will deal with us very harshly if you're doing the wrong things. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I always say, you know, I'm listening to what the Most High is telling me when I got to go back into that world again, and making sure I check myself. I even told my daughter, if you see me start doing the most, man, pull me to the side and say, Mom, what's up? What you doing? This ain't you. And sometimes you got to put people in your life, even if it is your wife, your brother, your sister. Hey, if I start to act weird and shit, you know what I'm saying? Tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, you feeling yourself a little too much, shawty. Bring me back down to earth. I might need a check. And sometimes we need to do that to each other from time to time. Sometimes you have to put those type of people around you to keep your feet grounded when you get into situations that you may not be used to. You understand? But anyway, I don't want to make this video too long, but I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all take care. Bye.